It's okay.
All right, stream is now on. So if you're welcome, if you're watching the stream, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Welcome, Group 6.
Yay!
Group 6!
Into the darkness.
Into the darkness, into the fray they go, to the unknown. So session 5 for them today, I believe. Going for a quick recap based on what they did before. It was kind of shuffling themselves kind of up to the quest. Now, before that, we had the dinner, right? That kind of concluded, and then from there we had conversation. Based on what had happened, we had some interactions with the stones, getting some visions of some kind, and really trying to piece together information. And then taking up the helm, taking up the deal with Payload Reese with the Rock Mining Company to find the missing prospectors, and kind of going at the base of the peak in a way, almost like on this ridge line that kind of ran up. You're able to find a cavern above in the actual mountainside that kind of had signs that this is where these prospectors went. And from getting into that cavern, you were surrounded by these crystal structures that were kind of void of coloration and whatnot, sprouting themselves from the cavern walls. The cavern was small, it wasn't impressive, but from the signs of what had happened, these lacerations of claws within the bedrolls and materials gives way that something happened to the prospectors. And then through further investigations, right, there was this large kind of a cylindrical, perfect circular hole that extended into the earth at a descent or a degrade, right, as it kind of went down. There was these runes that are lit in different colors depending on the person, and they spiralized down through the laser etched walls. And as you kind of made your way through this tunnel, traversing for a great amount of time, it was hot. You could feel that the temperature itself is warm. It's no longer cold. You're not in the environment of the outside, and seems to be this heat that's emanating from the tiles. The floors themselves, the tiles seem to be perfect in nature, different odd coloration. The walls are smooth, they're laser etched, they're just kind of smooth stone, and many of them covered with the same runes, especially this sort of circular kind of dome-like structure with this pillar that is extending up and hitting into the ceiling. It seems to have the same runes, and they seem to spiral around the pillar and then kind of go down. Noting the pattern of 6 that was given before. Regmore, like always, it seems, decided to walk through in a way. Again, it's tough to say exactly what had happened as Regmore passed into the lightning that is sprouting from, or arcing back and forth from, 2 purplish kind of orbs that have inlays over them that are floating in the air. Regmore kind of approached them, and the lightning itself began to trace around Reg's body, and then kind of moved him through a liquefied wall, which now appears to be solid. Reg, now you being on the other side, you look back, does appear to be solid. This is smooth stone. It's this kind of darker, kind of grayish granite color. Now we're gonna get right into it. And I'll describe, Regmore, what you see on this side, and then we can kind of go between, I guess, interactions of what happens here. So let me go ahead and get some music. I'm going to unpause it. So Regmore, as you see in front of you outstretched, is kind of a crossroads of sort. You're seeing a corridor continue north. You're seeing a corridor continue south. And then you can kind of see that there is one corridor continues east, so it's kind of branching, right? It's forming that T intersection, if you will. In front of you appears to be a body, half of a body, its upper half, with its organs and its bones spilling out of its chest cavity, its blood dried upon the floor. A backpack sits nearby, torn a bit, but still somewhat intact. The body itself seems to be hairless. Its skin is, in a way, sludged off. There appear to be little sucker marks all over its body.
Oh, goody.
Going to
go up to the body to investigate, or look closer and look over the pack.
Investigation. "17, going over to the body, seeing the body is indeed dead. Trying to figure out what creature did this is rather strange. You're not seeing any sort of cuts or lacerations upon the actual body itself. Any sort of like kind of a long strand of the cuts. The face itself very sunken, kind of pulled down from the skin. It's almost as if it's almost as if like skin has been placed in water for too long. You notice there is the backpack nearby, opening it, and there's a mixture of different. There's a climber's kit inside. There's rations. There's other sorts of knickknack items pertaining to a rock mining company. This is indeed one of the prospector's backpacks. There's a bedroll that is attached as well that has yet to be unfurled, and some of the straps and the actual cloth are torn by large kind of lacerations, but they seem to be unintentional in a way. It was grabbed really quickly and it just happened to be cut. Upon investigating it, you hear a kind of a shimmering or a large slosh of something happening in this particular direction. As you look in that direction aimed, the actual ceiling height within here is quite expansive. As you're stretching upwards and looking up and down, the actual ceiling heights of these particular corridors are 20 feet. So they're very elongated in their height, not necessarily their width as far as how far that is apart. The moving and slodging and liquefied nature of something begins to emerge, coming from the ceiling scope of the particular ping.
So there's something coming from the ceiling in there?
Passive possession, you cannot see it.
Reg's going to continue to unroll the bedroll.
Okay. So at this point, what is everyone else doing here in this domed room as Regmore has yet to return?
Okay, so are we assuming that he is in trouble immediately?
You cannot make that assumption. I mean, you can see that Regmore got pulled through a wall, but
No, but like, I'm
that's up to
asking
you.
the group, are we going to assume that and like go through and help him? Or are we going to check for like a power source we can take from the lightning thing? Because where this lightning's coming from, I want it.
We gotta help Reg, man. I'm gonna cast See Invisibility and look at the lightning, see if I can see through it.
I'm gonna try to like look and examine it, see if there's anything I could take. Like, maybe like a little power source, like maybe a little crystal in there that could be useful. Like a little magic crystal.
The orbs themselves are hovering. You're unsure of how they're actually hovering. They seem to be purplish in nature, smooth and polished crystal. There's no interior to them. They're slightly opaque and pretty much translucent in the coloration. The inlay is gold and silverish in its colors. It's kind of just placed over the orb to create some ornate features to it. Seeing invisibility, you stretch and look, unable to see through.
Did we see that he was holding out his stone through the lightning, or did we just see him walk through it?
You probably couldn't see the stone at an angle. You probably just saw that the lightning entraced and then he went through it.
But we did all see, like, when we threw the rock at the lightning, nothing happened, right?
Correct.
I think we saw him, like, he said he pulled that out of his pocket, walked forward, and it was just gone.
Yeah, I'm just asking because I was investigating the pillar in the center, so I didn't know if I had seen.
Yeah, I mean, this is going back. I think this is going back into the same situation before. I mean, the Regmore going down the tunnel. So, I think that.
I mean, I was right next to the lightning thing. Would I have seen it?
No, he's facing away. I mean, you could have saw Regmore. I mean, you might have saw Regmore motion for something and whatnot, but you don't know what he did or how he did it. But you know that you can make assertion that he pulled something out and holding it above, but you don't know what it was. And I think the best information that you can get provided was the fact that Reg went and the lightning entraced. That is the best information that is provided.
Yeah, dirty joke. Can you get me my alcohol, please? for a second.
Nope, that's mine. I think I'm gonna make some flaming arrows out of it, and you don't need it right now. We kind of got bigger priorities than
See,
getting drunk.
I want to check how dangerous this lightning is, so I'm going to check if it lights the alcohol on fire.
No,
I'm just gonna walk through.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look at the pillar. Are there
As you
still
walk
6
through,
rooms,
the
or is
lightning
there not
begins to
5?
trace your body. The wall becomes liquefied, and it pulls you through.
Oh, that's how it works.
Yeah, if I watched Othello do that, then I'm gonna do the same thing.
Pulls you through.
I am now
Pause.
comfortable. There's enough people on that side to be meat shields, so I'm going to go down too.
Egmore, as you are unfurling the bedroll, two of your companions seem to have appeared kind of behind you. Now seeing the kind of scene there, a large creature begins to slot itself, now breaking its actual stealth. It begins to move. This particular creature is on the ceiling height, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a nature of 15 feet above. It's on clinging to the ceiling in an inverted position. Its large, massive, gaping mouth seems to have come from a hole that's embedded within the ceiling. As it's inverted, it begins to sludge, moving itself over towards in your direction.
Point out the giant slug thing up on the ceiling and go, what the fuck is that?
Can I Do we have a reaction to this? Can I have a reaction to this before
See as it
anything?
raises its head down and seems to perceive as its tentacles are lashing about. As it does perceive, it lets out a shrill of an insectoid-like scream. Please roll initiative.
I nat one. We both nat one. Oh no, he had 2.
Should I roll initiative since I said I go through, but I'm still on the...
Everyone needs to roll initiatives, yes.
Oh, okay.
Regardless of those going through or not. You will be on the combat order. You obviously have no idea what's happening at the other side, but time will be gated based on what your actions are. Remember, initiative is really just making sure players are placed into order of how they're going to be acting if we're going to be going into comments.
Nice, Dirty Joe.
All right, so we're going to come into combat with a round 1 top Dirty Joe. Dirty Joe, all you saw was Thea go through.
I'm gonna quickly look at the pillar. Are there still 6 runes?
Correct. They're embedded into the stone themselves.
Okay.
Just
Just wanted
spiraling.
to make sure they weren't gonna disappear when anybody else left. All right, I am gonna go follow them through.
Okay, moving 10 feet, you go through. That's a total of 15 feet of movement.
All right, so I see this nasty-looking slug monster.
Technically, you can't see it based on your position.
Okay. Well, in that case, well, there's not really anything that I noticed other than this, gored out body in front of me. So I'm just kind of look around, look at that. You're like, yeah, I know it's only been a couple seconds, but did I miss anything good?
Does he notice that all 3 of us are like staring up at the ceiling, like freaked out?
Yeah, I mean, you could notice that your probably was backed up looking towards the ceiling, but again, it's Dirty Joe we're talking about here. So how much information would Dirty Joe actually generate for that?
So I can't see the thing,
If
right?
he asks a question, can we respond?
Based on this interaction, you all are reacting to this creature as you're backing up. We just rolled initiative, so they've come through. So Dirty Joe really has to say something, and that's going to be it. I mean, unless Dirty Joe is going to walk forward, and then maybe we'll see more.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Well, that's not something you see every day. One hopes.
Plug to the ceiling, inverted as it is. It's
that.
looking. You're how like Dirty Joe's walking forward. Whoa!
Just like, ugh.
Whoa!
Right, that's pretty ugly. I'm gonna cast Ensnaring Strike on him.
So remember, you first have to hit the actual target. So if you're gonna fire, are you gonna fire your bow at it?
I'm right in front of him, so would it be better if I use my short sword?
So ensnaring, you're technically this creature is actually outside of your reach, even though you're right next to it. This creature is 15 feet away from your position as it's clinging to the actual ceiling of the 20-foot corridor. So it's above you right now. It's high above you. That's what you're saying. So you're unsure if the creature can hit you, though. It might be able to extend its body, but staring up. You won't incur any range disadvantage if you fire point blank.
All right, then. You just stay right there, you ugly son of a bitch.
All right, 22 is going to hit. That deals 7 points of piercing damage as it does land. Using your ensnaring strike, it is going to fail with a 10 versus your DC of 12. It is restrained. There are kind of these vines and other sorts of mycelial structures begin to unfurl themselves, wrapping around the creature, pawing as it is. It kind of moves, wiggling its body.
Yeah, that was my bonus action, so end turn.
Okay, there you go.
Alright, he's out of range of my short sword, so I'm gonna throw a dagger. Yes, throwing a dagger. Targeting. Oops.
Okay. Dagger coming out. 13 is going to hit this creature as you throw the dagger. 5 points of piercing damage. You have advantage, so you can tack on the sneak attack.
Okay, I will be doing that.
Just know that you used one of your daggers as it lands into the large, gelatinous, pudgy-like flesh of this creature. The dagger goes into the flesh and disappears into its large, amorphous body.
No! Okay, I'm gonna back up then. Like, here. So I can, like, angle it above everybody else. I don't think I can use my short bow on my bonus action attack. So
No.
I will get it ready, though. Like, I'm ready to use it.
Okay.
And then I'm done.
That's the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Ending turn now revealing itself as it raises its head from the ceiling, kind of curling underneath. It begins to shriek as it does. It moves its entire movement speed of 40 feet clean. It's moving in a fast and vibrant ways. It's slugging inverted across the actual ceiling corridor. As it moves its entire movement speed, it is going to dash. And it's going to dash just to here. And it's going to lower its body down, twisting its head, giving it an elevation of roughly 5 feet from your current position. Its body is still clung to the ceiling, and the rest of it is accordioned out with its head, looking towards Reg. That's going to be its movement and its action to do so, revealing it on the turn order. Ending turn, another one unfurls itself, this one moving its entire movement speed as it comes and shrieking, moving in a rapid and violent pace. As it does, it comes right towards you, Thea. And as it begins, it kind of curls and lowers its body down. I'm going to go ahead and put it into a distance of 5 feet, so inside of your reach. As it does, it looks and raises its tentacles out towards you, almost to wrap and enthrall your body. 24 is going to hit you.
Yes, yes it will. Saving throw constant.
Alright, that you take 3 points of poison damage with a Constitution saving throw of 17, is what I have here. Correct?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Alright, you are going to be successful as the tentacles begin to wrap, and there's small little suckers on the ends of them as they begin to kind of nipple and bite onto your flesh. And this feeling of paralysis kind of overcomes, but you're able to sustain your body. As it continues to try to wrap around, it is going to take a multi-attack and come in for its mouth, which unhinges itself, opens up with a large circular disc of razor-sharp teeth that begin to kind of spiral in its large and gaping mouth as it comes down to reach, duck down low, and it kind of sucks inwards with this large sucking motion as if it's attempting to bite and suck you into its body. And it's going to be the end of the creature's turn. Now come to Ezekiel. Ezekiel is going to come through the wall. Moving 5, sidestep, gets into this particular position. Moving, again, difficult terrain to come through, so that's going to be the end of the particular movement. And is going to be going in for an unarmed strike. $15 hits. Deals a total of 7 points of bludgeoning damage. And then I'm going to go ahead and look at Crusher real quick. Okay. It's going to push the creature 5 feet. After its second, it's going to take a bonus, because he can take a bonus action to swing again. So I'm going to go for another one.
Question.
Yep.
If it gets pushed away from me, does it still incur an opportunity attack?
No, it's not of his own. It's not the creature's own movement. So I think what I'm going to do, based on that, I'm going to move. Yeah, okay. So he's going to go for the first. Ezekiel's going to go for the first strike, striking across and using the Crusher, and Crusher to move 5 feet, enough to slam the creature down onto the ground. So kind of hitting the blow and using the Crusher to kind of hit the head into the ground, pulling the accordion kind of ass of the creature, right, to snap it back upon the floor. So the creature is completely on the ground with a large crash and a smack. And it's going to miss the second unarmed strike with a 9. That's going to be the end of Ezekiel's turn. Dolly, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to cast Sleep. On this area. So do I target one person when I'm casting Sleep and it goes to the others?
Well, it's going to give you a large, massive radius. Sleep is a radius spell, so it's just this large amount of effect across the entire space.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, so you need so you can target friends, so you can potentially put your friends to sleep, but it depends how much dice.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would just go to all right. All right.
Sleep is any creature.
All right, so I'll put it a little in front of Regmore and Joe so that it's not touching them, but it'll target these two.
26 on the sleep die. Neither creature falls asleep.
Oh. Well, I'll move back. 5 feet. And that's
Okay.
End of my turn.
All right, I will go ahead and make sure you have Snowy with you. Or sorry, Heavy with you. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. In that case, I'll go ahead and give Thea help on her next attack.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your turn there. Zell, you're up.
Okay, I go through the portal because that's what everyone else is doing, or whatever the hell this is. Oh, what the fuck?
Nice of you to join us.
I'm going to walk here and then see if there's any of the others that I'm not seeing besides these 3. So like, I'm trying to use my action to look around, to see if there's anything going on.
Passively, you see the 3. If you're going to do an active perception, you can try to see if there's more than 3.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Roll perception.
Skills.
$10. Okay. You don't see any more?
Okay, yeah, then I'm gonna right back up. And I'm going to touch Snowy and cast Dragon's Breath.
Okay. If you back up, you will incur 3 attacks of opportunity.
Wait, I'm in range of all of these guys?
They have 10 foot of reach. I will state probably this one being restrained still to the ceiling probably can't hit you, and then this one probably won't be able to get through to you based on this still kind of a little bit further away. But this one can, so we'll call it a one attack opportunity.
Yeah, you know what? I'm still doing it then. I'm going right here.
Okay. It's going to whirl its tentacles out towards you as you begin to back away. It's going to be 24 to hit, which lands. That deals some damage. I have you at 11 Constitution saving throws. Zell, you are currently paralyzed by this effect. You take 5 points of poison damage. Since it is a poison type effect, based on your race, I'm going to give you another Constitution saving throw to have advantage against it. So go ahead and make another one.
I thought I had complete immunity to it, but okay. Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's technically not. So based on your race, it's not a magical effect, but because you have poison immunity and condition, it's not necessarily even a poison condition either. Is what it is. So I'm going to allow you to get another Constitution saving throw advantage. It's kind of in a gray area as rules is written because it's technically poison damage, but it's not a poison condition, right? You're not being poisoned. It's not what's happening. So you're being paralyzed. So I'm going to go ahead and give you advantage on the check. So no longer, I'm going to remove the paralysis as a 14 is successful. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring back on the actual health to you, as you are immune completely to poison damage. So, okay.
Yes, then I'm go back to
Does that make
this
sense?
corner.
Yeah, so go ahead. Yeah, move back to the corner.
Then I'm going to touch Snowy, and I'm going to cast... Snowy's not a quarter now, so I'll take him out of it. And I am going to cast Dragon's Breath on Snowy. Okay, I'm going to move a bit, but it's not actual movement, just so I can, save the icon.
Just go ahead and right-click. Don't use the actual thing. So what you're going to do here is that using Dragon's Breath on Snowy, right, you're going to give the breath. So each time that you are going to use it, you're going to cast the Dragon's Breath, but do not expel a spell slot. Does that make sense? And then you can do it, and then you can do it from Snowy's token.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Okay. So do I need to give them so there's no effect for it? I'll just
there's no effect I have for it at all. And it's based on the fact that, basically you're adding a breath specifically to it, which is a little bit challenging. So again, you're touching one willing creature and you're imbuing it with magical energy. So you could choose acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison. So it's your choice with where you want to go with that.
I am giving that thing fire because these are bugs and I'm burning them with fire.
Okay, so you're giving it a fire breath. And it's easier just to have it come from you, but again, you can move that template wherever you want. So you can have it emanate, make sure to have it emanate from Snowy. In order to turn a cone, you're going to use your scroll wheel. So use the scroll wheel to rotate the cone, and then it's going to want to latch itself to a particular place. Now, the actual spell itself, and the way that it is wrote, is that it takes a bonus action, right, to kind of give it to, if I remember correctly. So it's a touch, and then it's going to last for 1 minute. So it is a concentrated thing.
Yep. Okay, so I'm giving it to Snowy and I'm having them stand here so I can hit both of them with fire. Oh no, I see. Snowy was in the... What the... What?
It's fine. I won't. It's okay to do it from there.
Okay, because...
Nothing's set in stone, Lucas. It wants to snap to a corner. It's totally fine. Both creatures are going to fail, taking 14 points of fire damage apiece as the breath envelops outwards, encompassing around the corners of the walls and through the corners. It kind of rolls with this reddish-orange flame.
I am then going to have Snowy, since I think they still have their action, go and kind of stand behind Dirty Joe and try and give him help.
So remember you are imbuing
Fire. Yeah,
you are
yeah.
imbuing that as a bonus action to Snowy, and Snowy's taking the action to do it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, then I'm just gonna have them hide behind me.
Okay, so you still have an action.
Didn't I use that for the perception check?
Yeah, so if your perception check, right, for the action there would be your action. So
Yeah.
we'll have that be your action, and then you do your movement, and then your bonus. So
Awesome.
that's what we got. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 more creatures unfurl themselves stealth within holes embedded within the actual corridor wall. As they do, they begin to cinch forward, still within the space. This is where we're going to come into a little bit of a conundrum as they begin to stack upon themselves. So, I'm going to move them on either side so they're still able to be targeted. This one coming onto the actual floor. And now we're going to rotate them as well. So this one is on the floor. And then this one is still clinging to the ceiling over top of it. Okay, so they're technically stacked on top of each other. This particular one is going to go for a Tentacle Strike and a Bite aimed towards you, Regmore. So Tentacle's coming out. 23 is going to hit. You're going to succeed on that. And you also, I believe, have resistance to poison. And even
Correct.
maybe even advantage on the saving throw as well. So you can always reroll that. So you only take 1 point of poison damage and the paralysis doesn't come through. When the bite comes, a bite of 13 is going to hit you, Regmore. Regmore, you take 8 points of piercing damage from the bite as it kind of bites, grinds its body into your actual shoulder in an attempt to swallow, but it has difficulty in a particular size of creature that you all are. Maybe it's not normal for this particular creature to potentially eat you like this, but it's attempting to. Ending turn, now come to this one. It's unable to get through the space as it's both occupied top and bottom. As it does, it kind of sits and worms itself a little bit on the inversion and tries to kind of funnel through as best as it can, but it's not successful. In fact, it's hitting its friends, trying to get through at the smell of food. Ending turn. We now come to one that is ensnared. Please roll a d6 for me. Mikey?
Mm-hmm.
.4 So it takes 4 points of piercing damage as the kind of restraints tighten around. And it's going to be tempting to break out of it, rashing and slashing and moving its body about. I'm going to give a check here. DC is 12. It's unsuccessful as it's still kind of restrained, taking its action to do that. It ends its turn. Regmore, you're up.
So, Regmore is going to go with the classic bark skin and then wild shape into a bear.
Okay. Now we're really going to get clustered. Get out of the way! I can't move! It's a tight corridor here.
It's shift click, right, to target?
It's just T. Hover over and press T. Okay, and then go ahead and wild shape. Oh my god, I can't even. All right, we're getting smashed up now. Good luck finding your token.
Great. Nice.
Regmore shapes into a large bear, filling the intersection of these corridors.
I had a bath.
Head.
Okay, so that's going to be your action and bonus action there. So we're going to go and
Correct.
end it, I'm sure. You're not wanting to move, I'm assuming.
Nope, staying right there.
All right, come to the top of round 2 with Dirty Joe.
Alright, I'm going to turn Sharpshooter on. And That counts as a bonus action, right?
Sharpshooter is just a toggleable thing to do.
Okay.
So you can just toggle it on and off in your discretion. As a bonus action, you still have your Slayer's Prey available, so you could Slayer's Prey and then get extra damage on top.
Let's do that then. Turn that on. Then just shooting again at the one that I had already targeted. Right between the eyes, just like my daddy said.
Have advantage from the restraint. 14 with the sharpshooter is going to land. We're going to see dice upon dice here. 15 plus 2 is a total of 17, plus 10 from the sharpshooter. As you land a blow, get its restraint, opens its mouth up. You take the advantage firing an arrow into its mouth. Disappears, the arrow does, but the creature is dead as it just kind of falls flat and is unmoving, still within your restraints.
Get some! End turn.
All right, as we end your turn, it's something is odd happening to the creature as it begins to bloat and get larger and begins to gurgle, almost if it's fermenting. Unsure of what's going to happen. Thea, it's your turn.
Is the one here still on the ceiling? The one in front of me?
Knocked it down, so I had Ezekiel knock it down.
Okay, so it is within 5 feet of me.
Correct, and it is a large creature, so you can move through its space without difficulty.
Okay. I'm gonna go behind it.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
And as long as I'm staying within melee, he can't attack me, right?
As long as you stay within melee, he can't attack you? What do you mean? Oh, attack of opportunity.
He can't take
Nobody could take an attack of opportunity. You did have a potential of this space over here, but at this point, realistically, there's so many large creatures hitting. I mean, now you have a bear in front of there. I'm not going to really let attack of opportunity from these creatures. They can't really reach through if there's a bear in front of them. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Well, instead of short going it, I'm gonna short sword it.
Okay.
Because it's too close. So.
15 is going to land. That does 9 points of piercing damage. You can add sneak attack as well, since you are within melee range of a friend here. It's going to be 5 points of sneak attack damage dealt as you kind of land, slicing against the grain of the creatures. You come out, there's this large amounts of guts of this orangish liquid that begins to kind of pool out from it, and large amounts of kind of bones begin to kind of pool from its body underneath.
Okay, I'm gonna take, with my bonus, I'm gonna take the other dagger I have and swipe at it.
$16 is going to land. 7 points of piercing damage is dealt as you come kind of shaking it multiple times. You notice its flesh is soft and you're kind of puncturing it. And as you do, more of this liquid begins to kind of spurt out of it, and it's kind of like shooting out at this point. It's kind of like spurting.
Gross. Okay, I'm gonna end my turn here.
All right, end your turn there. Gonna come to this one. This one is still on the ceiling, reaching down, seeing the bear in front of it as it goes in for its tentacles to wrap around. Now, 26 is going to hit your bear form, 4 points of poison damage, and is going to prompt. One of the things here is we're going to get into a situation of wild shape allowing you to take features that would be allowance to carry over. Now, the reason why I believe you have the advantage on poison and then you have resistance is because of your race, which you aren't that race anymore, which means that cannot be carried over to your wild shape.
Correct.
Okay. So, 26 does land. You take 4 points of poison damage in your bear form. It's going to prompt the concentration check. You are successful. However, you are paralyzed in your bear form. As the tentacles enthrall, ripping through the hide and fur, the suckers nibble in and bite. This effect kind of overcomes, and now you're frozen, unmoving. It wraps up its mouth to attempt to kind of rake its mouth across, deal damage. That's going to be a critical hit. You are paralyzed. Take 18 points of piercing damage as it rakes across your flesh, unable to react to the damage. That's going to be the end of its turn. Barkskin indeed ends as well. We now come to the one on the south. This one is going to fully rotate around as it kind of turns and sloshes its body as you slice into it there, and it opens its mouth wide, attempting to eat you. Tentacles first, coming out. 14 is going to be a miss as you dodge out of the way as it slams its head into the side of the wall, comes back around with its bite. 8 is going to be a miss again. It goes back and forth, thrashing back and forth, bashing its head in. Multiple different wounds of its head kind of spurt from its thrashing about multiple different times. Now come to Ezekiel. I'm going to have Ezekiel do unarmed strike. Potentially Giant's Might. We'll see. 12 is going to be a miss, and then is going to be taking the bonus action, coming for a second strike. That's going to be another 12, which misses. So both of the unarmed strikes miss. And at this point, potentially next round, Ezekiel's going to be doing Giant's Might. But right now, there's a lot of everything everywhere. So we're keeping in the same position. So, end turn there. Othal, you're up. You here with us? Oh no! Othala!
Jay!
Mike is lighting up. Jay?
Hello?
Are you here?
There you are.
Oh, I had my mic up, sorry. Yeah, so I'm just gonna target this one and cast Mind Whip. So, prompting an intelligence save, please.
I might have to look at the spell. Alright, so it's going to fail with a -3. Take 6 points of psychic damage. I believe you can't take any reactions, correct?
Exactly, and it can only choose one of the 3 action, move, or bonus action.
Yep. Okay. Move, action, or bonus action.
And then I'm going to rinse and repeat. Have Heavy follow Thea. I should just say that Heavy's on Thea's shoulder at this point. He's just perched there and is helping her out.
Okay, so I'll give you advantage on your next swing there. Simply based on not using, because you didn't really specify, you said kind of hovering nearby, giving help, and then Thea moves. So we're going to have Heavy kind of on the shoulder at this point, providing help, even if Thea moves.
Alright, cool. And that's end of turn.
Alright, Zell, you're up.
Okay, so I'm gonna start by having Snowy. Well, actually, what I'm gonna try to do is, can't Snowy be on top of Regamore so that she doesn't hit him with the cone, and then
Yeah,
hit
that's fine.
the cone?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to try and find them then, because they keep disappearing under my token. Okay. So yeah, they're gonna go here. Then I am going to cast from myself.
And then do not expel a spell slot.
Yep. Oh no. It's gonna require me to end concentration, then redo concentration to cast a spell. Is that okay? Because...
That's fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's just going to re-up it.
Okay.
Wait, mechanics question. How do you cast something without expending a spell slot?
Well, we're bypassing because he can just do Dragon's Breath from the thing as long as he concentrates. Normally it'd be like innate spell casting or something. This is basically what's happened here is this spell, Mikey, what it does is it imbues the creature with the breath that it can just do as an action. So instead of trying to formulate this breath into the creature, we can just have Zell cast it from himself, and then each time, just not using a spell slot, right? Because it's a ways up.
Yeah, that's my question though. Like, how would I cast something without using the spell slot? Because if you click on something in this, it casts or use the slot like by default, right?
Yeah. So when you cast a spell, it's going to come up with a pop-out menu, and there's actually a clickable box where it says, "Do you want to use the spell slot?" And you actually unclick that box, and it casts.
I have not seen that. Now I know. Thank you.
Okay.
Alright.
I cast the spell. I don't know if it rolled anything yet, which is kind of weird, but it's...
Yeah, it's calculating it out here. Let's go ahead and see. I'm not even seeing that you casted a spell. Let's do it manually at this point.
Roll damage? Okay.
Yeah, manually roll damage. Alright, one of them succeeds, which is the one in the back. It's going to half the damage to 6. The other 2 have failed. It's going to take full frontal of 12 points of damage from that particular roll. Okay. And I don't think it's going to roll afterwards because I'm not seeing anything loaded up onto the server. So I think that it might have just bugged out and we didn't get any rolls. So as you breathe out snowy, large encompassing amount of the fire, your shrieks and cries from these creatures writhing in the massive amounts of flame that's spurted out in this 15-foot cone.
Then Snow is going to fly back to me, since they cannot get opportunity attacks. They can just go right back. And then I am going to fire off a magic missile on the badly wounded one.
Okay. Fire away. Okay. Next one, unleash.
Now the second.
Last one here.
Yes. And the final one, it's...
Okay, so I have 3, 4, and 4.
Yeah, roll good damage.
Okay. So you said multiple different punctures of the actual fleshy, soft body kind of come through. Is this one's particularly on the kind of ceilings is reaching down, so you're going on this dorsal side, so it's upper side, and you see they kind of puncturing through it as they do little spurts of this orange liquid kind of sprout outwards from the body as it begins to jiggle violently. Anything else in your turn?
I'm gonna end it there. So.
All right, now come to this particular one, which is currently on the ground. It is going to raise itself up, aim towards the bear as it goes in for a bite. It's going to land with its hit. That deals 18 points of damage to you, Regmore. That is going to end your shape. I'm going to retract you back into position of here as your shape has ended. Based on the remainder of hit points done, you should be all right there. I won't do anything there. And then your bark skin is over, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Concentration. After that bite, it's going to take its tentacles out at the bear, but it was unable to, it's not going to attack you. It's still attacking the bear. So you're in mid-shape transition down, and it reaches out for the tentacles, aimed to where it thinks the bear is. But it's quick succession, it's you, Ragnar. You're much smaller. So the tentacles kind of wrap itself around in a space of where the bear used to be, but no longer. The creature kind of writhes its body around, hoping for a potential target. Now, from that observation right there is that this creature might not be sensing by vision. Okay. Now come to one of the creatures to the backside, continuing to push its way through, hammering and attempting to get through. It actually is going to now wrap its tentacles and bite one of its friends directly in front of it in anger, and attempt to get through. 21 is going to land against its friend, which is going to fall paralysis to the same effect, and it opens up its mouth to bite it. It does, it lands a critical hit towards 15 points of damage to its friend. As it does, it consumes as it begins to wrap, holding its body, forcing its friend into its mouth This is a long and tedious process. Moving the token off, it makes no movement as it's continuing to engorge itself, sucking its friend into its body. Regmore, you're up.
Am I still paralyzed?
That is honestly the question of the paralysis and how it works. The paralysis was on your bear form, and I don't believe this condition, based on rules as written, passes over to your regular form.
Okay. So not going to shift again. That was a bad idea.
I mean, it kept you alive.
Yeah, kinda. But I am going to attempt the Thorn Whip on the closest one to me.
Fantastic. Nat 20!
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo!
8 points of damage. This one's on the ground. I'm not sure if you want to pull it anywhere, but
No, do I have to pull it?
you don't have to. Just ask.
No. And Reg's going to stay right where he's at. And then turn.
Dirty Joe, you're up.
So I see that one that I just killed. He's starting to bloat up.
He's
making
bloating.
some weird noises.
With gurgling and lots of gases are being released. It's not looking good.
Yes, I'm seeing that go down. And you're like, well, I don't like the look of that. I'm just kind of scooch my way over here.
So if you do that, you will take attack of opportunity from that one, as the bear form is no longer blocking and it can reach out towards you.
Acceptable.
All right, so it reaches out its tentacles in attack of opportunity. 26 is going to land against you. That does 5 points of poison damage. Roll a save for me. You succeed with 13.
Get out of here, you beastie.
Do you have resistance to poison as well? Does everyone have resistance?
I don't think so.
I
don't
don't.
remember that.
I don't.
It's rolling the damage really weird. Okay. Halves it. 2 points of poison to you. I imagine it's because you succeeded. Now, as it reaches its tentacles out towards you, kind of grabs over to your leg, just kind of scratches, right, as you're able to kind of pull away from it. And then again, that was a very desperate maneuver, so you are successful in your movement.
All right. So can I shoot this one in the very back, or are they blocking me?
This one is on the ground. Oops. So I'm going to front it like this now. That one's on the ground. There's no elevation change. And then the one in the back is still inverted on the actual ceiling. So they're kind of like this. So yes, you can.
Okay. I'm going to target the one in the back. Another mechanics question. How does Slayer's Prey actually work? Is that just like a passive buff that's on, or do I have to cast that like every time?
Yes, you have to use your bonus action upon each new enemy, but it does last upon the enemy casted. So your Slayer's Prey is technically on the dead body, right?
Gotcha. Alright, I'm gonna target that one in the back then, cast Slayer's Prey again, and shoot it.
Alright, fire away.
Ooh.
6. Getting the other sharpshooter on for the -5. Unable to land. 6 is going to kind of club into the ceiling, kind of bounce off and shatter.
Wait, can I use Lucky?
You can.
Do I just roll a d20 with that?
Just roll the attack again.
Okay.
It's going to be a miss, even with the luck, as you're trying to shape the arrow before it lands with your luck and hoping, please, but it doesn't land.
Damn it! My daddy would be disappointed with me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I guess that's my turn. I tried something and I failed.
All right, Thea, you are being helped by Heavy for your first attack.
Okay. So, short sword, and I hold down Alt. Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I saw that 20 come through.
I saw
Like, did
that.
it roll?
It rolled it. It rolled it, but it's so I think it might be lagging. Maybe I don't know because it's not coming through.
Oh, yeah.
I got the net 20. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna assume maybe you're lagging. I'm not entirely sure. Go ahead and just, yeah, go ahead and roll damage because you hit with a net 20. We saw the dice come across. So go ahead and roll damage manually from the dice tray at this point.
Okay, so that's just...
It's a D. It's gonna be a D6. So just roll a D6. I
Yeah.
know what your mods are. Okay, so 1 for the damage die, so 7. 7 plus dex is 4, so 11 points there with the critical damage. Go ahead and roll sneak attack. It doesn't like it either. I got a 10 off the sneak attack. So a 10 plus 12, because we're going to maximize sneak attack, is a total of 22 damage in sneak attack. That creature is dead. As you come across, slashing through with your short sword, now that it's turned, it kind of raises its head upwards, and you kind of slide inwards and kind of bring the short sword down its underbelly side, kind of split it, and as it does, just the force of its organs and flesh kind of begin to pool and pile outwards upon the actual floor of the corridor. As it does, it kind of falls flat and then begins to slowly grow in size.
Okay, I don't want to be near that. And there's nothing behind me as far as I'm aware.
Yes, nothing with
Good
your
glance.
passive perception of 18.
I'm going to... I know my friends are still fighting in front of me, so I'm going to scooch around it again. And go next to Reg and try to slash with my dagger at the one on the ground in front of him.
Okay. Okay. Seems like your rolls aren't going through, which is really interesting.
Yeah,
No,
no, it's not even showing
I'm-
up in my chat window either.
I'm not having any errors whatsoever on my console. I'm looking at the consoles you roll, so kind of curious what's happening on your data transfer. Either way, we can take the dice animated wise because they're coming through. So 13 plus your modifiers is going to land. So go ahead and roll a d6 for the dice tray, please.
Is it a D6 or a D4 for a dagger?
D4, sorry. Yeah, you're using the dagger. Thanks for that. All right, so we have 3 points coming from the dagger, and I believe you don't have two-handed, right? Because we're using offhand. We don't have the dex
Yeah, that
damage.
was offhand.
Yeah, so just 3 flat.
Oh, actually, wait. Do I have two hand? Because I have one level of ranger and I took 2 weapon fighting. Which should let me add the modifier.
You get fighting style at 2nd level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not seeing within your
Going to
character
take
sheet.
that.
So if you're going to get
I'm
it,
going
right?
to. I'm going to.
Okay. No worries there. So we'll do 3 points of damage dealt. It's interesting because you've been using the dagger with the offhand, but I don't think I've been extracting your dex with that attacks. I think I've been giving you the benefit of the doubt that eventually you were going to proceed through that 2-weapon fighting.
I haven't even noticed. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, have you?
Yeah, I think I've been adding your dex into it. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. We'll see. I'm looking through the
One
chat
more
log.
level ranger, you won't have to worry about that.
I'm looking through the chat log and I think I've been adding it. So I'll add it for now. We'll do. It's fine. +4 to the damage. So it's 4. Okay. We'll go ahead and allow it for now because I've been doing it already. So 7 points to the dagger.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay. All right, we'll come to Ezekiel at this point. Ezekiel is going to sidestep into your space Regmorph real quickly, and then is going to take an unarmed strike Lands a nat 20. That is going to be 14 points of damage. And then with Crusher, when you score a critical hit that deals bludgeoning damage to a creature, attack rolls against that creature are made with advantage until the start of your next turn. Okay. So it's going to come in with the second arm strike with the bonus. This is going to be an advantage. And then it's going to be a 12. Even with advantage, it's going to be a miss. Then it's going to use the movement speed to sidestep out of that space, not occupying it. Now, the advantage of Crusher, if I recall, I believe everyone gets advantage against this target. Okay, so based on the fact that it landed a critical. So this is going to give to everybody. Now, if might be a debated thing on Reddit, but I'm going to go with the rules as written, which basically means that any creature striking is going to get advantage. So I'm going to have it immediately given the flanked kind of thing. So it should automatically give you advantage when you swing at it. And that is till basically Ezekiel's next turn. So that's going to be the end of Ezekiel. With all you're up.
All right. Very basic. Just gonna look at the very wounded one and just cast Toll the Dead.
Okay. See if your roll goes through. It does. Looks like it fails an 11, takes 4 points of necrotic damage as it rises, directly punched in center chest. This large kind of hole puncture from Ezekiel, and now is moving its head side to side, smashing on either side of the corridor in anger and frustration.
Then I just look at Heavy, give him a nod, keep doing what you're doing. I'll stay right here.
All right, Zell, you're up.
Okay. Zell, seeing that they... Oh, first I'm going to have Snowy roll, actually. Better for that. So I'm going to have Snowy fly up and do his little fire thing again.
Okay.
That is working brilliantly.
Let's try it again from the spell, and then if not, we'll do manual rolls. And if you do it again from here on out, we'll probably just do manual rolls.
Yeah, I placed the template for this.
Oh yeah, no. So are you placing the template manually, or are you clicking Are you clicking the spell Dragon's Breath and then using the template it gives you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's not giving us the stuff from that. Okay. So I'll go ahead and roll the damage manually.
Okay.
All right. They both get nat ones. So that takes 11. The back one takes 11. From the breath as it kind of reveals outwards and explodes from the small, tiny creature, Snowy, as it does, begins to envelop the one upon the ground, taking the snaring of the fire. You see multiple its tentacles incinerate, its flesh begins to bubble and curl as it does. It slumps upon the ground, unmoving, and begins to grow in its size. The one in the back kind of shrieks from the fire, still alive.
Okay. Now, seeing that they seem to rely on something besides sight, I'm going to try and trick their senses by running up next to Thea and casting Prestidigitation to make the most pungent smell of human blood right in front of the wounded one.
Okay.
So I'll just do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'm going to back away because I do not like these bodies. I think they're going to explode. It looks like they're going to explode.
Turn. Okay. Come to this creature. I'm going to roll a check. Okay. The creature seems to turn around and is slogging away at full speed, running away. As it retreats, running as fast as possible, terrified and afraid as it shrieks itself, running away. Regmore, you're up.
Saying that it ran, Rice going to slightly pursue and Thorn whip it back.
Okay. 21. Range of the spell, by the way, is 30 feet, so you're going to have to get a little bit closer than that. 6 points of piercing damage is dealt as the 21 is going to land.
And pull it 10 feet back towards me.
Okay. I don't know what you're listening to, Red. I think it came from your mic, but it was really funny. That's so delicious. I don't know. I heard something in someone's background on a mic. I think it came from yours, TV maybe or something. 10 foot closer to you. So are you going to keep it within the actual ceiling, or are you going to yank it down?
Yanking it down.
I'm going to move it 10 feet on the horizontal and then bring it down all the way as it slams down to the ground. Just begins to shriek. This is trying to pull itself slugging away.
And end my turn.
All right, there you go.
All right. So we got these guys that are swelling up, and they may blow up at any second. There's one. I mean, I know that other one is over on that other corridor because I saw it before I moved back. I'm gonna move. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Do I want to try to go help Reg, or knowing that these things might blow up and get me? I don't know how big the explosion radiuses might be, and I see two of them that are kind of in my sight line. So just don't, screw it. Old instincts are kicking in. Oh, god damn it, Reg, why you always gotta be getting out of my sight? So I'm gonna dash forward 30 feet. And can I shoot at this wounded one as a bonus action?
Well, you used only your movement so far. You only used your
Does that
30
not count
foot.
as an action?
Well, you only moved. You only moved 30 feet. So you haven't used your action or bonus action.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna shoot at this wounded one. I'm not gonna bother with Slayer's Parade or anything, because they seem actually fairly fragile.
Okay. Sharpshooter is attached still, so 11 is not going to land. As you fire another arrow off, because it's off its backside. Upon the ground, it continues to slug away.
Lucky, let's go.
Oh, you're gonna lucky it again. That's funny.
I want to kill these sumbitches.
All right.
The family
Lucky
honor
away.
is at stake.
Family honor. Oh my gosh. Another so low the rolls.
Why do I have such bad fucking rolls every time? You know what? Screw
Continues
it. I'm
rolling.
burning through them.
Last lucky point burned, right? 3. So that's gonna be the last one. So
That's
fire
it.
away. Oh, there it is. We finally hit. And max damage. 22 points of piercing. The sharpshooter aim directly smash right into its ass region. Kind of a large thunk. The arrow disappears into its flesh. Kind of winces from the blow, but continues to move, still alive, but leaving a massive trail as it's slugging away.
So can I still move forward as a bonus action?
No. So you've used your movement so far, and then used your action to fire your bow.
Okay, so bonus actions are only like the particular skills that I have.
Yeah, bonus actions are particular spells or features that you have.
Gotcha. All right, well, just staring apprehensively at this massively swollen one right behind me, just thinking like, oh, this ain't gonna be good. End turn.
All right, there you're up.
I'm gonna scooch behind this one. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go all the way up to it because I think I can use my bonus. I can use my bonus action to do it. Right?
Yeah, you can use your bonus action to dash. Correct.
Okay, so I can get right up on it, and I can use my attack to.
Yeah, that's your roguish
Force it.
feature there. You can use your bonus action to dash, hide
Yeah.
or stealth, whatever.
I'm gonna just make one attack, and I'm using my short sword.
Go ahead and hold down Alt for advantage. See if it goes through. You can see your dice though, so at least that helps. Does not like what you do. I don't know what it is. You might have to get a refresh in or something, see if that changed anything.
I've
9.
refreshed the page like 4 times, and
That's
it's
so
still
crazy.
doing it.
9 plus your modifiers is going to land. So go ahead and roll a d6, please, from the dice tray. What's weird to me is that you can still roll from the dice tray, right?
Yeah.
So,
So weird.
that's
It's not
what's
showing up in
strange.
the
It
chat
showed.
for me. It says that I have
see
like a
it.
message, but it's not actually showing up though.
Yeah, it's not going through the process. So
Yeah.
generally that happens is because of MIDI, right? And so there's a hiccup somewhere. And I would normally have something in my error log, but it's on my end everything seems to be peaches and cream. So, which is fine. We can manually roll. I don't, manually roll is no worries there. So
I don't mind.
so 10
You just gotta
points.
tell me what I did wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong, no. 10 points of damage
No.
is dealt. So as you're sprinting forward towards it, you jump on its back, stabbing directly into the creature as it does. You put it to rest as it's kind of unhooking and dies, and you pull out the blade. The large plunge of the liquid begins to sprout from the creature. This is where we're going to go and end combat. As you're kind of sliding off of the creature, it begins to grow in unison. Now there's a large pop as this one actually explodes in guts and organs and goo, coating the corridor walls and large amounts of gases. Othala and Ezekiel kind of coated from that. As this one pops, it explodes. Bones and other sorts of materials of what it was processing in its stomach are all over, and in this massive large amount of radius. You see at this point as Ezekiel is going to step away. I'm going to go ahead and stop the battle music here. So we have the ears. Ezekiel is going to step away now, kind of sliding further and further away as far as possible, as the next one in the lineup, which is this one, explodes as well. This large pops as these massive amounts of organs and guts and different things explode outwards. Go the one next to you, growing and growing to amorphous size. As it does, it explodes right next to you. Large pop, coated from head to toe in massive amounts of goo, guts, and glory. You see as this one next to you, Thea, begins to grow. What do you do?
I'm backing up. This one already exploded. I'm trudging through gunk on the floor because I don't want it on me.
Okay, trudge back, aim to run away, and now explodes. Large amounts of guts and goo and other sorts of this insectoid-like creatures all about the corridors, dripping and foul of its stench.
Are they done? No more blowing up. Start casting prestidigitation on myself. I'm cleaning
Yeah,
myself.
I'm gonna go over here to the one exploded and see if I can find the dagger that it absorbed.
Okay. You begin to dig through the organs and other things of its body, and eventually you find the dagger.
How bad does it smell? Does it smell, or is it
Oh, it
just
smells.
gross looking?
Oh,
Oh,
it's,
it smells awesome.
Great.
Michael.
it
I'm
smells
gonna,
like putrid,
shake off-
rotting flesh.
I'm gonna shake off my dagger and just look at my boots and be like, "This isn't ever gonna come out, is it?"
Zell, did you go halfway through a wall?
Yes.
Well, Zell's in between a wall now. Zell's stuck. There you go.
Get out, please. No, thank you.
What the hell, you're always getting yourself into so much trouble.
I have no idea.
I think you're moving with 2 tokens, and so it tried to put you relative in position to your other space. It just shoved you through the wall.
Stop teleporting through walls. We got stuff to do.
That's where all the good loot is, guys. Hidden in the walls.
Hidden in the walls. Well,
Um,
Can I send Heavy down this long hallway?
sure. Move heavy.
Just let him just fly.
Now that Reg isn't being eaten, he's going to go back over to the dead body and pick up the pack for the second pack of proof of at least 2 of the 7 prospectors.
Okay.
Can I look at the prospector's body and see if there's any personal item on it that we could return to their family?
There's nothing on this particular body.
Okay.
I sent Snowy ahead, and then there's just like this kind of weird building a bit ahead. Um, could you describe that to me? Or?
The familiars have to return for the descriptions to be provided.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for as well.
Yeah, you can return
Um,
the familiars to you if you want, and then I can give you a description of what they're telling you.
I'll wait till mine's like gets enough information to come back.
Yeah.
And tell me about it.
So
can
Red
I
Boar
just
heading.
kind of
Yeah, right after getting the pack, Reg's gonna go down the other tunnel.
Okay, so Joe, what are you doing?
I'm gonna just kind of lightly dig through some of the guts and exploded offal and see if any of these slugs have eaten anything interesting and or valuable.
So as you begin to dig through the organs and different goo, you're able to find that there are humanoid type bones and other skeleton structures within these creatures. As you're kind of counting the amount of bones, it's relative to 2 humanoids worth. And there's also another type of like vermin type creature that you're noticing, kind of a quadrupedic creature. And then so you're kind of understanding that. Now, based on trinkets and other things, you are able to find gold pieces. In fact, you're able to obtain 27 gold pieces within the bond, the actual goo and the different organs. So you're kind of grabbing and cleaning them off and throwing into your pouch. In addition, you do find a silver ring that's in there. And it seems to have potentially maybe significant value, such as like a kind of maybe a wedding ring or something of that note. So put that with your inventory.
Johnny. Hey y'all, it looks like these things have eaten at least 2 people. Maybe some kind of other critters as well. They've been busy, and people have been down here before. Bear in mind.
What
Maybe
worries
our prospectors.
bodies?
Let me say that again, you were kind of breaking up.
What worries me is that we've only found 4 bodies so far. So there's 3 more people worth of enemies.
You go south as you stretch, looking left and right. You notice on the west side of the corridor it extends, but eventually there's a large hole within the actual base of the tile floor, smooth and flush, but then a hole, circular in nature. It's quite large, not nearly as large as one you've entered in at, but it's similar to that laser etch and how the stone itself is just flush and continues down. There seems to be another body. This time it's a skeleton. It seems that the flesh and everything that was on this particular skeleton has been completely ripped off of it, clean. The skeleton, it's almost been spat out with this saliva and other sorts of liquid that was in the mouth of these creatures, kind of dripping across its body as it's scaled outwards upon the tile floor. Nearby, a backpack sits.
Reg will go over, motion to Athala to hold back, and go over and investigate the skeleton in the pack.
Okay. Snowy disappearing as well as Heavy disappearing, both of those familiars returning. The corridor continues at that junction, heads north and south, and there is a large hole that's at the eastern side of that within a cutout groove of the stone. This hole is significantly large in radius. It disappears into the darkness.
Oh no, we've done the bad thing.
Which one?
Splitting the party.
Yeah.
What else is new?
I'm gonna send Snowy to scout out the entire building, like not just one direction, but like I'm gonna try to have them go down basically every corridor without going down any holes.
Yeah, I
I'm just
want to
gonna-
keep looking at the exploded gunk and see if I can find other stuff in it from
it's
the
already-
prospector.
Well, yeah, Dirty Joe is doing that. Dirty Joe's
Okay,
found
I was going to help him.
a silver ring, found the coin. Those are the valuable, and then find some bits and pieces of other things, like clothes and other sorts of undigested things.
Can I look at the skeleton and what's around it? Maybe even look over this hole.
Sure. So as you look at the skeleton, analyzing its structure, and trying to figure it out, you notice that it does appear to be a humanoid structure. In this particular, it seems to be a human of some sort in the way that its size and its bone shapes are. You notice that the bones themselves have been kind of whatever meat or ligaments and other flesh was on it have been kind of pulled off of the bone, giving it a very clean, pristine look. And the saliva that's going across it seems to be kind of that putrid, that same smell that comes from the creatures. As you look at the hole extends into the darkness, and the actual laser etching as it extends and drops down. The same spiralized pattern of the 6 symbols continues, and it goes into the depths. There is no light as far as that, as you're concerned. As you look down, you can't see the bottom of this hole.
I'll drop a gold piece down and try to determine how far it goes.
Okay. Go ahead and drop the gold piece down, then roll a flat intelligence check. You begin to listen for it, counting seconds. From what you can ascertain is that this goes down roughly 80 to 90 feet into the earth.
Okay, don't fall down that hole. Is this a pack that we see as well, or is this
Yeah.
just?
It's a backpack
Okay.
nearby.
Reg is gonna collect the backpack because it's what he's been doing so far.
Okay. Like the backpack, a mixture of different things, rations, bedroll, climber's kit. You're finding the almost identical in the supplies. There's a couple other things in here, a few pieces of parchment, ink pen, and ink, and a couple different documents. You're also finding a map in here that is identical to what was kind of provided in location of this ridge line. Now returning, your familiar here, Snowy, as it made its way around, did not detect much of the other creatures. There are more bore holes from these creatures in the actual ceilings. It seems that they are tunneling in nature. So it found more of these, but no creatures that it could perceive inside quickly as it passed by. It seems though there are these similar holes that are in junctions at the ends of the corridors that disappear into the darkness. The only significant one would be the much larger, or different one, I should say, would be the larger one, and that's on the east side of the central corridor.
I am going to start running around people, and I'm going to start telling them group meeting at the entrance to this area. I'm going to start kind of running around and trying to get everyone in here to the group meeting so that we can organize thoughts.
All right, I'll
Okay.
come join you then. Wait, I stepped away for a second. Where'd everybody go? Zell, where are you?
Dirty Joe, as you make your way to the edge of the tunnel, you notice that this particular radius is large and open. You stretch down, looking down. You see there's actually a little bit of a faint light at the very bottom of this. It appears to be 90 some odd feet down, as far as you can tell. The light is somewhat purple, and it begins to kind of speckle about. Along the edge of this particular tunnel, barreled through, are the same 6 patterns as they're kind of extending, circling down.
Well, that's not ominous in any way. So I see the see the familiar here. So I'm just gonna kind of wait and see if anybody else shows up.
Can I see Joe down the tunnel from where I am?
He has a torch, yeah. Joe has a torch up. He's like, holy eyes, looking around. Can't see you.
I'm down to the other side. You're on the wrong side.
Joe, come back.
What's up now? Oh, yeah, right, okay. Hey, just so you know, like, there's another glowy tunnel over here with them weird rune patterns. Oh, there you guys are.
Where is Ezekiel?
Ezekiel is with you in space. I remove tokens when not in combat, so Ezekiel's token will be removed. That way I don't have to continue to move Ezekiel with you all. I just plop Ezekiel down.
So, in my point of view, that big hole is probably, whoever this is, that's probably the main road. The question is, do we want to take the main road? Because this, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's like tons of holes here that are probably made by little like fucking ugly inhabitants. But I feel like the structure itself was man-made, or at least humanoid made. It's got heated floors and stuff. Maybe a dragon, like
Mhm.
still like intelligent creatures made this. It's not like some burrow. So, do we want to go down the main path that they clearly want us to go down? Or do we want to try and take a side path that may be less guarded, but it could also lead to like a janitor's closet or something, whatever these bugs use as the equivalent to a janitor's closet? While we're there, we might also find things, because the main path, I'm assuming, goes down deeper, and we might miss one of the bodies. And our entire goal is to recover bodies or paid by the body. So missing one of those is kind of a big deal. That's 1,000 gold.
Let's snoop around, see what we can find. Even if it is a janitor's closet, I could use a good mop down.
Yeah.
I smell like burnt guts and vomit right now.
Okay, let me fix that. Presentation. Okay, moving on.
While they're talking, can I touch the wall that we like passed through and see if it's illusionary or any type of way that we could like, if I could just like phase back through?
Solid wall.
Well, I feel like we're trapped and we need to find an exit, and maybe the main path will lead us to other paths rather than going to a random path, Being centralized sounds better than being random.
Oh yeah, it totally will. What I'm saying is, do we want to skip over the side paths? Because we could probably come back out from a side path and it's probably gonna be less guarded. So I'm just saying, do we want to check those before we do the main path? Or do we want to take the main path? Or maybe it's just kind of like a maze. We're not deep enough to know if it's a maze or not. And if we take a side path, kind of do the good old try and test a technique, always pick a wall and just follow that wall until you solve the maze.
I'm
What do you
gonna
guys
like half smirk at Zell because this sounds vaguely intelligent.
As your midst conversation, Reg, as you're standing in the junction of the T to the southeast, Joe come with the torch holding. The shadows are moving. And what you can tell, there's a creature above Rick. I need everyone to roll
No.
initiatives.
Damn it, there's another one.
Great.
All right, so we got everyone rolled. I think Snowy's on the board as well. I'm gonna go
you can get rid
ahead.
of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove that for you. And I'm gonna go ahead and plop Ezekiel down. Ezekiel probably stayed with the rest of the group here. So begin combat. Thea, you're up. Round one. You're continuing your conversation. You have no idea that this is happening, so always make that inference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I would do anything because we're having a conversation. I don't know that something's happening, Reg. So.
Okay. Continuing that conversation, we're gonna go and end your turn. Dirty Joe, you're up.
All right, knowing that I saw them kind of like take random stabs at whatever was kind of moving in front of them, I am not gonna shout for help, knowing that might attract more of them. So I just whisper over to Reg like, "Let's just take this one out real quiet, like." And I'm gonna run Slayer's Prey and shoot him in the face.
So hold on, okay. So this creature is literally right above Reg, about ready to eat him. You're like, it's all right, Reg, we're gonna take this one out real quick. Come on ourselves. Don't quiet. Don't say it. That's really funny. All right. Well, looks like we're having some problems with a lot of different things here. So as it's not coming through with the roll, so go ahead and give me a flat D20 roll, please.
Okay.
I have to get this manual. Net 20!
It's the fourth one today.
Family honors restored.
Roll a D8, please.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, so we have 10 from Sharpshooter, 10 plus 1, 11 plus your dex. Right there, so that's going to be 4, so 15 plus 2. Not plus 2, it's archery for attack, so 15 plus 8, because we're going to double. So we're going to be 23 points of damage dealt on that particular strike.
I am
Doubling
become
dice
death.
damage. Okay. It's 1 arrow as it lands. Oh, and
yeah,
then roll a d6 for me because we had Slayer Spray.
Oh.
Okay, 4. So it's a total of 10. Maximizing Slayer Spray damage based on the criticals. 10 more. So total of 33 points of damage.
Nice.
All right.
Maybe they can kill it alive.
All right. So Dirty Joe, since you're not yelling or saying anything, we're actually going to be bypassing the Othala, Ezekiel, and Zell, since you have no idea that this is happening. We're gonna bypass your turns as you continue your conversation. Red, you're up.
I'm gonna look up and go nod to Dirty Joe and take a 5-foot step back from. Was the thing up on the ceiling, or has it started?
It's on the ceiling, so I'll put a note of that on height.
All right, so it hasn't like stretched down to.
No, it's like inverted. It's just kind of moving right above you.
Stepping back and then thorn whipping, trying to pull it down from the ceiling.
Okay. $18 is going to land, does 1 point of piercing damage, but it does land. Here's a large thunk as it lands down on the floor. Now lets out this noise as the tentacles begin to move.
And then yell down the corridor. There's more up on the ceiling!
Oh, god damn it.
Everyone at this point, you hear an echo of the voice of Reg yelling that there's more. Okay. So you're going to end your turn there, come to the creature. The creature's going to slodge forward, aim its tentacles out towards you. So it's going to go for the roll here. It's going to be 21 to hit, which is poison. Go ahead and roll the saving throw, and then we can roll again. There. So go ahead and give me another Constitution saving throw, please. You have advantage. All right, that is going to be a failure, Reg. You are paralyzed as you come. You take also 2 points of the damage there. So as Reg, you yell out, perform, and you yell out, begin to kind of sidestep away. It moves over towards you and thralls with the tentacles. You kind of freeze and lock up in front of you, Dirty Joe. The mouth of this creature opens up, ready for a bite of Reg. Reg gets hit by the critical, being paralyzed. 16 points of damage is dealt as it wraps its body, begins to attempt to eat Regworth. Ending turn. Alright, Thea. The void.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna run my full 30, which is like here, and then I think I can use my. And I'm gonna dash with my bonus action, so that's
Okay. That's going to be 60, so that's going to be your dash there, your bonus.
Yeah, and then I can see this now, right?
Mhm.
Because he has a torch.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my short bow to attack at a distance.
Okay. I know the roll isn't going to come through, but we'll say it does. Who knows? All right, 7 is going to be the attack. Based on your modifiers of 4 and 2, 6 there. That is going to, I believe, not be a hit, I believe.
7. Yeah, that's a 12, I think, right?
Well, 7 plus 4 is going to make it to 11. 11 plus 2 is 13. Look at the AC of the creature again. Okay. Okay, that is going to hit. So it's a 13, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, 13 is going to hit. So go ahead and give me a damage with the short bow. So let's roll the
Alright.
dice manual with a d6.
Is it a D6 or a D?
Short bow is a d6.
Okay. Longbow's a D.
5 points of damage dealt, plus 4. That's a total of 9. And then it is engaged in melee, even though Regmor is paralyzed. So you can add on to your sneak attack. That is 11 points of sneak attack. The arrow flies true. The creature is dead. That is the end of combat. The arrow flies through the darkness. Obviously, Giorgio, you have no idea. Kind of thugs into the creature. As it does, gets hit by it, falls down, begins to balloon out. Reg, you're still paralyzed.
Does cure wounds cure paralysis?
Lesser restoration.
You could still cure wounds him because he's very injured.
Yeah, true. I'm just curious here. Well, yeah, I'm gonna walk over and cast that on him. I'm like, well, man, that thing took a real nasty bite out of you. Let's see if I can fix you up any.
Before I was kind of suggesting ideas of what we could do. I'm officially putting my vote in for the big path. We're doing it now because that guy came out one of the side paths, and yeah, I get the feeling we should get out of this place as soon as possible. That's
Yeah, I don't like being
Reg
trapped.
can't move on his own, so somebody's gonna have to carry him.
Reg,
Is you up for it?
I'm
It doesn't
gonna
possibly
somebody
last.
tie a rope to Reg's hand and then hold that rope.
You know what? Actually, I think it's a good idea to forever
Wait,
have
where's
like a
where's
little
Ezekiel?
bring Ezekiel.
Ezekiel's token will not be on the board until it's needed for combat.
Okay.
Regmor, please make a Constitution saving throw at advantage. Roll again. Okay.
Is this body gonna explode?
It's ballooning.
I back up.
Yeah, guys, let's step back a little bit. Everybody grab a limb.
I'm gonna grab Regmor.
So, yeah, let's grab Regmore and kind of drag him back a ways as far as we can go.
I got dibs on checking the body.
All right.
Explodes.
I got the last ones.
But yeah, I think we should probably go down the middle hole since it's clear these guys live in the side holes since one came out of there. And I think we can handle them if we're all as a group. But if we get split up, as you can see now, it can end terribly. So I think we should probably.
If we
We
can,
Stick
we can
together,
take them
Reg.
just one at a time. I think we should probably still snoop around, see if we can find anything else cool down here before we go down that big scary hole with all kinds of eldritch nonsense at the bottom. As long as we don't get hit, we'll be fine.
That's a valid point. These guys are sneaky as fuck.
But think about it this way: the more we are fighting, the weaker we're gonna get along this time. We don't know how long we're gonna be here, and we don't know how much we're gonna have to fight. We need
And
to
there are
find the
four
quickest
side
ways
holes.
to get out.
We need
Like-
to find a way out. Right now, we're trapped.
But we don't
We
really
have
know
no
the
idea
way out.
how to get out of here.
Maybe there's a surface access down one of these sidey chutes. Can
I
we at least
think-
see what's at the end of this one?
It'll probably be at the end of the big one. It's the side shoots were a good idea since I figured there might be less enemies in that direction, and we should clear as much as possible to check bodies. But it's clear that we can't fight these guys all day. We can't check all these holes. There's
Well,
four
we
of them.
pick
There could be even more.
one.
We can't check them all.
We pick one area and we try to find a way out. We
And I
know how to
think-
get in.
Regmor, you know.
All right, so let's just want to continue going down this corridor then. See if we can find a way out. Straight ahead.
What'd you say?
It's out
You're
the
no,
first.
you're no longer paralyzed, Regmor.
It's clear that's the main path, and this is man-made. So if it's man-made, the main path probably will have some kind. If it's not the exit outright, it might have some kind of sign farther on that will lead to the exit. You know, these seem to be, yeah. Maybe we check one. We could check one side hole, see if there's anything interesting. I mean, it's pretty symmetrical. I mean, they may be slightly different, but they're probably somewhat similar. So maybe we could check one, see what's on there, come back and check the main one.
Sure, that's all I'm saying. Let's just continue forward down this one and see where it ends up.
You know,
Reg's gonna stretch and shake. Oh,
Feeling
If
better
you
there,
want,
buddy?
I can take point.
We should. You know, actually, yeah. That's a good idea. Or-
Yeah. Thought it was.
All right, so I'm walking down to the end here. It's like, oh
I'm
look,
gonna
another hole.
cast detect magic while here, and I'm gonna hold it up for 10 minutes.
Okay. You cast detect magic and you hold it out. Are you ritualizing it?
No, I'm using my innate
Okay, using your
ability.
innate cast for it. Okay. What you can understand is that there is magic that is imbued into this place, particular around the tiling and the walls. There are a variety of schools. It's intermixed and interlaced with magic. As you use your detect magic related to the whole, there seems to be a very particularly strong sense of a school of magic that is emanating from the whole. And that is the school of transmutation.
I just got an idea. There were ruins in the big hole, right? Like ruins on the side of it.
There's runes in the small hole as well as they spiral down,
Oh,
stretching.
I would like to ritual cast comprehend languages on those runes. See if they're just magic mumbo. Because I mean, there's still probably a language of some kind, even if it's a magical one.
Okay.
I run all the way to the other side while it's still active.
Oh, yeah. So
All you feel the sense, the same thing. So taking the time to use your comprehend languages and attempt to kind of figure out what this particular language is. You understand the literal meaning of any spoken language you hear. You also understand any written language that you can see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. That would require you to be in the hole.
can I like lean over and touch it?
It's too far down. The first start. Your arm is not long enough.
I would like to hand Joe a rope and like told him and tell him to like hold on tight. I'm trying to lower myself down to touch it.
Yeah, all right. Let's see if any of your magic wizard skills will help figure out what the hell all this crap is.
So, as you grab onto the rope, you begin to lower down, you reach and touch the word. As you do, it seems as though whatever spell effect that you once had of the comprehend language has ceased. There is an aura or effect happening here where the magic is void. It seems as though your magic has been dispelled as you are lowered down into the hole.
Was it dispelled naturally because of time or because of an effect of the hole?
Cannot tell you that.
As
You getting anything there,
going
buddy?
down, I'm like, I sense transmutation. I don't know if that helps.
I don't know what that word means.
I am not comfortable with that. That is a. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not comfortable with it, but it's a very, very like screwy school. Okay, we don't want to turn in there and get full on Midas touch to turn into gold. So let's be careful.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the big hole, see.
See, I'm assuming you told me that you didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it
Ah,
got
well, it was worth a shot. So wait, it felt like it was turning your magic off, though?
kind of, which is really concerning. So
Yeah,
let's not
that
do
is a
that.
data point. So this stuff can actually screw with the, well, however the hell magic works. I don't even know. But if it can turn it off and on, that's kind of
Rick,
scary.
can I borrow a knife?
Sure.
Okay, I grab it, and I would like you to lower me down again.
All right. Let's give this another shot.
I'm gonna try to use a knife to like kind of take out a segment of the wall with the runes on it.
Okay. You take
Wait,
out the
you're gonna
knife.
try to stab through solid rock? I mean,
your knife.
I know you're not a muscle man.
Okay, you're being lowered down into the hole and you're gonna attempt to take.
I'm gonna try and like maybe not stab, maybe like maybe get a segment. I mean, it's like tile, right? It can't be that like maybe like try and go between like
It's
the.
solid stone. It is smooth. There is no etching.
Yeah, it's like the one we came
It's
down
bricked.
through. It was
It's not
just-
bricked. It's
I'm just
just
trying to mess with it with a
smooth
knife.
stone.
All right, I didn't know what you were doing, so I'm still just like lowering you down in the hole, and I see you stabbing the side of the wall. I'm just like, boy, was this your idea? You were going to stab a rock with a knife?
So
If I would
Zal,
have known that, I wouldn't have given this.
So you're reaching down and you're stabbing into the hole, like the side of the hole.
Yeah, I'm trying to get maybe one of the runes that maybe try and chip it off.
Well, you'd have to be
or-
lowered to get to the room.
Then yeah, lower me as far as I
I mean, yeah, I did. and I see him doing this. I'm just like, what?
Okay.
Something's
So
wrong with this boy.
you lower Zell down. Zell, as you go in for the first strike towards the rune, a barrier erupts upon the wall, shimmering out, and explodes you back. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh hell!
More
Do not
information.
drop that knife.
13.
13. Zell, as you slip from the rope, you begin to fall.
Feather fall. And Snowy followed me down. I mean, I'm assuming if Snowy saw their master fall off the rope, they'd fall down.
Yeah. Server's being real wonky today, I tell you that. Gotta reload myself.
Memorial Day weekend. It's getting crazy.
Yeah, I think it might be something to do with the actual server provider that I use. Now that I'm looking at the charts, I think it's having a real big struggle right now.
Well, right
So-
side. Now we know
So Zell, as you begin to free fall down, use your feather fall to catch yourself, is what I'm assuming is what's happening, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and pull you to a scene. What is interesting about this particular scene here, once you get pulled in. Okay. Are you in there with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you land down here at the feather fall, you slowly halt your fall. You notice that if you did not, you would completely land. There's no lighting as far as what you can tell, slowing your fall down. And the fall took quite a while as you came all the way down here. You stretch and you look directly to your west, and you're noticing this large corridor with this 20-foot ceiling height that matches and slightly boxed. And across the walls, there are large runic segments that are embedded into the intervals every 10 feet segments, side by side, okay? And the runes themselves, as they're kind of embedded into them, they are unique, each one differing from the next. There is no pattern about them, and they're large and encompass a radius of about 5 feet as far as the actual dimensions of the radius. And they form a circular-like rune. Now, at the far end of the west, you see that the wall is flush. 2 orbs hover bound with this electricity that is bouncing between them and arcing, similar to the same one that you had entered through from the dome circular chamber.
As I enter this chamber, my brain is going a million miles a minute thinking of everything that could go wrong. First thing I'm doing, I'm checking for those freaking like walls, like ceiling bug thingies. And also, I see the runes. I immediately think glyph of warding, and I'm gonna try and see if there's a glyph of warding because fuck.
Well, you can roll a perception check at this point. Go for it. There is an observation that'll give to you that your feather fall was successful when you reach the end of this particular tunnel, suggesting that magic can be casted at the bottom end of the actual thing, but maybe not through it, since your comprehend languages had ceased. But the feather fall did work. Perception of 17, you don't see any sort of boreholes in this particular segment. The air itself is quite difficult to breathe. In fact, there is a significant lack of oxygen in this space. As you're perceiving and doing the best you can, give an Arcana check for the glyph of warding. 26. Even though Arcana check is quite high, this glyph itself relates to a different language you do not speak. Unless you're going to attempt to do comprehend languages again, you can't really ascertain much information as far as if it's a glyph or not. The best you can understand is that these are quite large, and glyphs are generally small, and they are unknown to you. The rest of the party, you saw Zell fall, and you don't see anything else.
About how deep is the hole?
You traversed 90 feet.
Okay, so I can
Breathe
see him at the bottom.
I
Well,
might be able
Because it's
to.
not lit, right?
there is no lighting there.
There's no light down there.
There was a pattern of that same kind of rune coloration that began to spurt as Zell began to fall down. But at some point, that kind of ended with your vision.
All right. Well, I know that he has feather fall because he talked about using it before. I'm just gonna start spooling out as much rope as I can. I'm gonna yell down the hole. Hey, grab the rope if you can. I'll pull you back up. Let me know if you see anything or need help or anything.
I'm gonna try and cast message and see if I can like because he's probably peeking his head over the hole. So I'm gonna try and cast message and hit him in the head.
Yeah, so am I.
Okay.
I'm standing right next to him.
Okay, so you're gonna try to message upwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, there you can cast magic down here. There's some weird ass magic ruins. I do not recognize the language, but these are way bigger than they should be. 90-foot drop. Also, lack of oxygen. So this seems interesting. There's also on the opposite side of me, there's lightning things we used when we first, like, the kind of lightning wall meshing things, like as you go through a wall but not back. There's one of those too. So this is not a storeroom, but whatever it is, it's interesting, and I think we should check it out.
So you cast the message and you say all that. Dirty Joe, the message is towards you, or Thea, the message towards you. You don't hear it.
Hey, buddy, you down there? Can you yell back?
Joe,
Are you still
Joe,
alive?
I'm gonna tie my 50 feet of rope to yours.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna climb down. I'm a lot lighter than you. You can hold me up.
Yeah, fair enough. Just don't go like stabbing the runes or any other dumb ideas like that. That's Zale's job.
I was
Did I
absurd.
look that stupid?
I was trying to see if they'd strengthened the wall in any way, and they had.
So yeah, I am gonna see if I can let down Thea.
Yeah.
All right, Thea, go ahead and make an athletics check, please. Oof.
How badly
5.
did I fall? I fell real hard.
Thea, as you're climbing down the rope, your hands loosen off the grip of the rope. There's no handholds in this particular tunnel as it extends down. It's completely smooth, and you begin to fall. As you do, you reach a period of point that you're about 10 feet from actually exiting the tunnel into the space and falling down a great range of distance. But before you do that, a force, as it begins to slow your descent upon reaching, similar to Featherfall, the effect that Zell had replicated himself, perhaps the same effect would have happened if he did not cast the spell. But that has slowed your velocity to 0. As it does, you are kind of sent into the room with your feet landing just in the 20 feet of space. And from that, you do incur damage. So there is that distance of fall damage.
Hey yo, all we need is a table and some tea, and we can throw tea about it.
So you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage from just the space at the top of the ceiling, right where the hole enters through. But somehow there is a magical force or presence. There's magic happening in that tunnel, not just in that Featherfall motion, but now for Zell, some sort of void as well, some sort of nullification of magic. So there's a lot of things happening in space here.
I'm gonna look at Zell and be like, "Did you do that?"
Yeah, I did it.
Lying. He's lying.
So I just felt the rope go slack. Can I hear them talking down there?
No, you hear no talking.
All right, so I feel it go slack, and I'm just like, oh God, please tell me that she's at the bottom and she just didn't just die. Hey y'all, if y'all are still alive, please let me know. Are y'all down there?
The rope
Can
is
I
next
hear
to
him?
you. The rope is next to you. It's 110 feet of rope if you've tied it together. So that rope is dangling next to you.
Can I grab the end of the rope and just like waggle it around really ferociously so he knows that I'm down here?
There, Joe, you get the rope waggling around.
Just like yank on it like twice, like, hey, I'm good.
So I'm just like, well, I don't know if that's a slug monster or if it's her.
Yeah, did I hear him when he yelled down?
No, not.
Oh,
shit.
I don't like that.
Especially
Okay,
the
we can't hear
I should
anything.
be able to hear him.
glowing "I'm okay," like little like glowing words saying "I'm okay" at the bottom of the hole for a few seconds. Because I mean, there's no light, so it should be pretty obvious. Yes, I do.
So, with all the climbing packs that Regmore has been collected, is there enough rope and pivots that he could set up a post in this room to tie the rope and lower it down?
I have one as well. I have a climber's
There,
kit and rope.
as far as the walls itself, right? There's no kind of foot areas or any sort of pittons or anything. You'd have to actually stamp pittons in and attempt
Yeah,
to tie different things.
that's what he would plan on doing, is using
Okay.
the pittons and his hammer to create anchors to, at least on the floor they're on, to tie to throw the rope down and shimmy down.
Okay. Um, so, so the prestidigitation goes through. Dirty Joe, you don't see anything, just darkness still.
All right, so
As
they could be dead as far as I know.
Let's try and Morse code the rope back. I'm okay. Just like
All right, at this point, I'm gonna run back up towards that main tunnel where I saw the other guys walk.
okay, are you letting
least I
go of the
thought I saw
rope?
the other
You're
guys
still
walk.
holding the rope.
No, I'm holding the rope. I'm just gonna kind of drag it up out of the hole with me. I'm gonna see if I can run
Taking
up
it with
and be
you.
like, "Hey, hey
As
guys!"
soon as I see that rope moving, I'm gonna like launch myself for it
I'm
and like
sorry.
yank
I'm
as hard as I
I'm
can.
sorry. That is so ridiculous. They see the rope disappearing. Oh,
Like, no, that is our only way out of here. I am yanking hard on that
All right.
rope, so you don't
Okay, so
take
you still
with
have
you.
it. So I feel it
Dirty
yank
Joe,
back. And
you
just like,
have weight now. You're like, oh, you can't.
okay,
pull
so
it.
I'm over
Yeah.
here towards the edge. I can't move forward. I'm just like, or at this point, I'm just like, I don't know if they're alive. I don't know if they're dead, but I feel this weight on the side. I'm getting no communication, so I'm just gonna kind of yell over my shoulder, like, "Reg, you over there? I could use a hand. I don't know what the hell's going on here. They might be dead down this hole. Get over here."
I'm gonna try start grabbing at Theo's foot and kind of like holding that.
Like, he stopped moving, so I still have like a good, what, like 10 feet, 15, 20 feet of rope down with us.
Oh, okay, around that.
Yeah, I mean, I moved away, but you were able to grab it, so I'm like a
Yeah,
little bit
so we
further
still
back.
have rope. He's not dragging it anymore.
Okay, yeah, so the rope, not Theo's foot.
While this whole conundrum was going on, could I have studied this main
Yeah, what are you guys doing up there?
center hole? I wanted to just study
That's
this
what-
whole main. Yeah, we're having so much fun. It was hilarious.
Yeah, they're Othello's study, and Reg is creating anchor points with his hammer and pivots up here to tie the rope down so that they can at least him and Othello could try to descend down without
Yeah.
falling.
So Reg, as you're working the pittons, they seem to be able to be embedded into the stone walls without any sort of anything happening. So the walls themselves around you, not necessarily the hole, but just the walls around you.
Yeah,
Kind of embedding into that stone. Seems to be okay. You're able to get it done.
Yeah. that's what he wanted to do, and then tie the ropes and lower it down.
Okay.
And then go see what Dirty Joe's yelling about.
What do I see in this central hole? I think you said you mentioned a light, I think.
Yeah, so you are seeing again the runes as they spiral down, but far into the distance. You're again, this is about 90 feet or so. You see kind of a faint purplish glow, but that's about it. You can't get any of the recognizable things. Just that kind of little bit of a faint, dim light that's moving.
Could I try to bamp my familiar next to me and then tell him to head down into the hole to get a closer look at that light?
Okay, so as your familiar heads down into the hole, a split second it passes that apex, that concave of that where the hole disappears. Your familiar poofs.
What's going on over here, Dirty Joe?
Well, against my better judgment, I decided to listen to one of Zell's ideas. He went, lowered him down to the hole, see if he can poke at it, figure something out, and it ended up kind of blowing up in his face, and he fell down the hole. Then I lowered down Thea because she wanted to see if she could go help him. Then I felt her go slack, and then I couldn't hear or see nothing down there. I was yelling down and trying to see if I could get some more and see if they're still alive. So then I ran back up see if I could pull the rope out, run up the other corridor here, and there's something stuck on the end. I don't know if it's some kind of eldritch monster or if they're still alive and just can't say anything. I don't know, man. Either way, we gotta help them out somehow.
You're holding onto the rope and you lowered them down?
That I did.
It's most likely them. It could just be them that they don't want to, Wait,
Re- Reg will take out more pittons and hammer and show them to Joe. Y'all don't have these?
I mean, I was just gonna see if I could lower him over the lip here. This wasn't supposed to be a full-on expedition down there. It was like 5 feet, but of course, anything Zell related usually goes pear-shaped. I will bear that in mind next time.
partnered with Zell. You should have known this. I drop a gold coin into the hole.
Okay.
Who do I hit?
Good idea.
I've stepped away from the opening at this point. I'm still holding onto the rope, so he can't walk away with it. But I'm not under it anymore.
I like
Actually-
to imagine that Zell is just feeling like some weird feeling on the back of his neck, like they're talking about me. Yeah.
So as you both are looking up, the coin falls, slows, and then hits onto the tile floor.
Oh, they'll throw off any equations he has. It slowed itself down. He's gonna think it's way longer than it is.
Huh. That was weird. You're
Um,
not doing that?
I'm gonna try to go down. I think we should have people wait up here. If I find them, I won't climb completely off the rope. I'll try to hold on. So I'm not gonna go all the way down. I just want to see if they're down there or if they walked away. All right.
All right.
I'm going to tie secondary rope around Othala.
Nice.
So you're not anchoring any pittons or anything over here.
I'm going to anchor a pitton down, more pittons down, secure the rope to that, and then secure it to Othala in case
Okay.
Othala falls off the rope.
Okay.
From
And you're
dirty
not putting the pittons in the hole. You're only doing it on the walls.
Only on the walls.
Okay.
Or the floor.
Okay.
And I guess, wish me luck, guys. I'll make my descent.
All right. Begin to descend down, continuing. Please make an athletics check.
So Thea, do you think we should go down that lightning thing? Like, I mean, that's how we came here. Maybe we should go deeper.
No, I want to
17.
look. Now I see these runes on the wall, right?
You do. Yes.
Can I read them?
Like here, right? Every space, they're large. Get the radius there. With your particular language set, you cannot read them. Eventually, Othala, you get to a space where you're kind of descending down, and your vision is able to see them. You can actually see them from what you can tell, but it's almost like a snapshot, and it's a very odd kind of euphoria of what's happening, of what you're looking. There's a slight shimmer effect that is kind of embracing that you're taking the slowness approach and whatnot. Eventually, you get to a point where you've traversed 60 feet or so. The runes themselves begin to channel and to light up as you are making your descent. As you make that 60 feet, anything past that, there is a force upon you that seems to kind of slow, potentially, as it's pulling you to almost cling like a magnet in a way to the edges of this particular hole. You'd imagine if you were in a free fall or you were falling a great fast, this pull would be enough force to kind of slow your velocity. As you begin to navigate, eventually you are there and you can see them. Are you continuing the final descent?
Seeing them, I'll try to call out to them. Like, hey guys, you all right?
Yeah, we cool.
Do
You
we
don't
hear him?
anything. Nope.
God damn it.
I'm gonna keep
I
yelling.
just-
I'm gonna
I
keep
just-
yelling, guys.
And you look up, you don't see him.
Okay, so it's creepy as hell. So, I'm gonna grab a gold coin out of my pocket and I throw it at them.
Okay. Eventually it kind of goes, it slows as it does, and then falls all the way through and lands down. Hits into Thea. No, kidding. Hits into Zell.
We saw when the coin comes through and it drops to the floor.
Second coin, yeah.
I pick up the coin and pocket it.
Of course we do. I'm giving you a side eye. See you do that.
And then I start
I'm gonna
whipping,
walk
I start
back
twirling
toward the opening of the hole,
Okay,
like look
yeah.
up.
The
and see
rope
what
is
I see.
twirling, and you can feel weight on the rope there.
I think someone's coming down.
Cool.
I'm gonna yank twice on the rope again.
Okay. How hard do you yank?
Hard enough to get attention, not hard enough to dislodge someone from the rope.
Thala begins to move a little bit. Someone's yanking it. And
So
then
I
Rose.
tug with the same pressure upward.
So you're like pulling against me.
Yeah.
Tug 4.
I'm gonna do again 2 tugs, like as acknowledgement. And I'm
Okay.
telling Zell,
I'm
somebody's
coming
coming down.
down.
Coming all the way down. So eventually you get to a point where you're 20 feet above their level, which is the ceiling height of the particular room. And when you traverse that shimmering barrier, now that you're slowly going through, eventually you come through. That, at that present moment, is when Othala becomes revealed as the body kind of unfurls, sliding all the way down. Now, with the speed of falling, that effect, you couldn't really get to see that, right? Of that slow kind of pulling through, going through this barrier. But it seems as though there is a barrier that is stopping not only sound, but potentially vision, and it's taking snapshots and time, and it seems to reveal only in one direction, like a single mirror, in a strange, odd interpretation way. So you're now here, as you come through, 20 feet in the air, right? In the actual chamber of this particular space. I'm going to go ahead and pull you to scene, and then you're finishing that descent as you slide down into the particular chamber.
Oh. Do y'all hear me now?
Yeah. Have you been calling us?
For a little while, I've been seeing y'all,
You
and
guys not see my little magic I made?
it was the knife. What?
I made a little prestidigitation, like words to send a message up. You guys not see that?
No, I don't think they can see us from where we are. I didn't see Othala until he was sealing.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
And I can see in the dark.
I think it's like a force field of some kind. That negates all your senses in a sense. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it
I'm-
slowed me down when I fell.
Yeah, it has a weird effect on time. I think on that one area. So, everybody's upstairs and they're kind of worried about. Yeah, Joe thinks that there's a slime monster down here and that y'all were dead, but
I would actually like to stay down here for like another 15 to 20 minutes, if you don't mind. I have some stuff to check out.
those lights look kind of familiar. But
Yeah.
So were the ruins in the whatever, in the tunnel, like that came down repetitive? Like were there repetition of the same ruins, or were they all unique?
They're repeating in 6 runes as they spiral down.
I would like to draw those so I can try and figure them out later.
Okay.
do I know this language of runic?
You do not.
Okay.
Okay.
I tugged back on the rope just to let them know I've made it down, I guess.
So yeah, I feel these tugs on a rope. I look over at Regmore and say, you know, maybe I should have come up with some kind of a code to tell him, like, hey, 3 times for I'm okay, 4 times for get the hell out of here. I don't actually know if they're trying to communicate or what the hell's going on. They might be dead. What do you think, man?
The rope's not being yanked out of your head, so I don't think they're panicking.
Okay, well, what the hell? You think we should just go down?
Yeah. I'll put another pin down, tie another rope or a rope around Dirty Joe to anchor him to it.
Okay.
Right then. I'll, since I thought of it. 3 tugs means we're fine, come on down. 4 tugs means, I don't know, find some other way out, you're screwed. Sound good?
3 tugs, you're okay. Anything other than that, find another way out.
True that. See you on the other side, buddy. All right, so I'm gonna head down.
Okay.
Okay. While they're figuring all that out, I'm gonna try and cast Detect Magic on the area
Okay.
with the ritual. So, I figured that took 10 minutes. Like the whole, like this entire process probably take about 10
All right,
minutes.
Dirty Joe and Regmore, please make athletics checks if you're going to be descending down. All right, so Dirty Joe, as you go down, no problem. Reg, which one's first, Reg or Dirty Joe?
I went first.
All right, Reg, you lose your grip. You fall into Dirty Joe. As you both get hit. Dirty Joe, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw now. Actually, strength saving throw. That makes that's more appropriate.
Okay. You're
Dirty
supposed
Joe
to
and
wait for
Reg,
me, man.
Free falling down. So now together as you go
Yeah.
down.
Damn it!
I wasn't going down
Yeah,
yet.
I'm not standing anymore.
Where you said that you were going down.
No, I was tying Pittons around and securing Dirty Joe. Gotta follow OSHA.
So you're
That's right.
waiting until Dirty Joe gets down.
Yeah,
That was the
because he has
plan,
to
yeah.
give me the 3 tugs to.
Oh, well then don't roll an athletics check, Reg.
All right, so yeah, I make it down to the bottom. I see these guys, like 3 sharp tugs. It's like, okay, so did I miss anything good down here? And why didn't y'all answer me?
There's a barrier that's stopping magic, basically anything, basically everything. Like we can't even see up the barrier.
It's a
Okay,
time
great.
force field type of thing. It's like a spectral, chaotic energy type of thing.
Also, it's shielding the wall. Because when I tried to stab it, so I could try and flake off one of the ruins to see what it does.
Yeah,
Basically-
you might have told me that was your plan, that I was lowering down here again so you could stab a rock. Boy, I thought you were supposed to be educated.
Why
What in
don't
the
you
hell?
just take a sketch or like a marking? You know, you could rub coal on a paper or
I
rub coal on
already, I already did sketch them. But the thing is that
Yeah.
I wanted to see.
On that first. Also, I'm gonna take the knife that he took from Joe and take it from him and give it back to Joe.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Trying to take one off so then I could maybe like take the effect and like have an in my pocket anti-magic field.
Yeah,
mean, if that
sure.
works.
All right, so we got Zell the Wizard up in here, y'all. Stabber of rocks.
So
I was
that's
trying
like
to
Reg.
get
Man.
off.
So Reg, I'm going to take your athletics check of 4 from this descent
Yeah.
as you come down. So eventually, Reg, you lose your grip. Free fall. Reg plops out of the field, lands a large thunk, and there is going to be bludgeoning damage from the fall. You take 6 points from the fall as you land, crunching into the floor.
Oh, hey there, Reg.
You made pittance. Why
I
didn't
don't
you
know.
use the rope?
I'm not good at climbing.
Duly noted.
So as your detect magic goes off, you're sensing that there is magic about the space, particularly about the 2 orbs as you walk around, and the way that this lightning is moving back, as well as each specific these runes. Each one has magic associated with, and based on the school type, it appears to be a school of abjuration.
On the bright side, I don't think there's many harmful abjuration spells, so it's not like when we walk in there and get fireballed. It's not summoning either, so there's no.
Banishment?
Is it more of those that lightning field Reg went through the first time?
Yeah.
I know what to do, guys.
No.
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 Grab the back and register.
I am now officially making the Regimore harness. It's done. We're gonna stop joking about it. I am tying the rope around his waist and I'm
It's like
handing
those baby harnesses, right?
Yeah.
So wait,
Get the
do
babies
we
on the
see
leash.
Baby backpack leashes. Yeah.
Bjorn. The baby
Uh-huh.
Bjorn.
It is recognizable as the same kind of lightning effect as before, though.
Correct. Yeah, this is almost identical
Okay.
in the way that the positions are of the orbs and how they're hovering in distance above the floor and the arcing of the lightning. It's the same thing.
We should
Okay, well, I'm
wait.
just gonna follow Reg.
Can
Be
I
like,
check
well,
for
this
traps
is the way out.
before they start moving? Can I check for traps?
Please make a perception or investigation check.
I was also going to do that.
I will do so.
Whoever's going to be doing it, make an investigation or perception.
Oh, good job.
Both of you find no traps.
Seems clear.
Yay.
So assuming
Reg
that Reg
is
is going forward, I'm just gonna follow
Take
right
out,
behind him.
take out his stone and do like he did the first time.
Oh, so you take out your stone. I just walked through last time.
Just walked through it.
I didn't
Regmore,
know that.
as you move up to the lightning, as it begins to trace about, and now instead of forming this bluish coloration as it did before, it now turns red. The wall itself is solid. You are not pulled through.
Try the stones this time.
Wait, he did that though, right?
That's how Reg walked up to it, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I got through the first time.
I'm gonna throw some more bacon at it.
Wait,
Take another little bit of my my rations and I just chuck it towards the electricity. See if anything happens.
I would like to see if there's any differences, like
happens.
visually, between this one and the previous one, like on the orb or anything.
There's nothing visually different.
So I look at the runes. Do I understand them at all? So I speak Draconic. Does that mean anything?
I also
Do
speak
not.
Draconic and I couldn't read it.
Oh, okay then.
I mean, as far as big bads go, I know like half of their languages, so I'd be. Yeah.
What big bad have you been fighting, Zell?
He's a dragon slayer. We all know this. Remember,
Puberty. He's been fighting
Draconic
puberty.
Puberty, yes.
draconic pimples. You're right. The draconic zits.
Draconic and a bit.
Question.
If we're talking ancient ruins, they're magic. I should know most of them, just by a shocker.
Okay. When we went through the first portal, it was glowing blue.
The lightning changed from hints of purple to hints of blue. Now they are changing to hints of red.
Does anybody have a red gem?
I'm gonna walk up to it.
Yeah, yay.
Nothing happens.
The
Red.
the ruins on the wall, are they different colors?
They are not. They are embedded into the actual stone. They're almost etched into it laser-like, as they've been kind of almost laser
I would
etched,
like
forming
to
runes. The light, I will say that
the
the lightning did have a hint of red when it traced Euthia, but the wall itself did not liquefy in the same nature as it did before. The wall is solid.
I'm going to cast an attack cantrip at the wall.
Do I see him doing this?
Or you do that with all comprehend languages. I'm assuming you're innately casting that.
No, I'm while they're talking, I just take a step back and I start ritualizing
Okay.
the
Taking 10 minutes to
comprehend.
ritualize it.
Yep.
So, right now, Zell, what are you doing?
I'm going to experiment and cast Chill Touch at one of the runes on the wall.
Wait. So can it? How does that actually work? Like in game, do I see him doing something funky with his hands?
Yeah.
Like about the.
I
All right,
mean,
so
it's
yeah,
really
I see him moving. I'm just gonna grab him, bear hug him, see if I can tackle him down, and be like, "No more stabbing rocks or whatever the hell you're doing. You're getting enough trouble as it is."
All right, Zell, are you attempting to still cast the spell?
I'm going to dodge him.
All right, so I need you to make an athletics check, and then I need you to make an athletics or acrobatics check, Zell. So, Dirty Joe, athletics.
Reg, what color was your stone again?
Not show up.
Silver?
Silver. And it turned blue.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, there it is.
I'm getting tackled.
Well, that's pretty much watching two little children, but yeah, it's successful.
Yeah, I spare them a glance and then I ignore it.
You are successful stopping the spell being cast.
Distracted me from my ritual for a split second, but back to it.
Maybe this is the wrong one. There's 2 other holes. Well, 3 that I found.
You know, did you check this one out? Why not?
Maybe we should climb back up.
So at this
Oh.
point, Nathala, your comprehend languages has come through as you are kind of reaching themselves out upon the stone walls, right? As you're needing to touch them. As you touch them, there is a warmth to the stone, and as you begin to comprehend, each of these particular runes corresponds to a name. The names themselves are distinct and different, all of which are ending with an AR. This is deep speech.
So is it only names or?
It's only names, as far as you can tell. No relation to anything that you are able to discern. You're able to only piece together the way that they're kind of formed together and the patterns and interpret that they're different names. They all end with an apostrophe AR in terms of how common works.
R. R. Um, can I try to at least try to look at one and try to see if I can get an actual name?
I mean, they're all deferred names. None of the names correspond to anything based on, right, of what you're have any relation to. So it would just be a set of approximately 12 different names of the
Okay.
variety of the room. None of them mean anything to you as you walk around the
Interesting
room.
mental note.
So, yeah, I mean,
I'll explain that to everybody.
if you want specific names, it's at that point where we get into the realm of if you don't know anything about the names, then the name itself is not really important.
Yeah, it's meaningless. The AR is the most crucial point, but
Yeah,
all right.
the fact that there's a pattern there is just what I was giving you.
Okay, so I'll explain that to everybody. And yeah, I think I'm in consensus with Regmar. We're in the wrong spot. Like I said, we should just go down the central hole.
All
I
right,
would
so
like
we
to
got a whole bunch
try
of.
and say one of the names and then try and enter the portal. Or like lightning thing. I'm gonna try and say one of the names and try and enter it.
Before he does that,
You're not
do
given
I
any of. I
recognize
mean,
any of the
Lothal,
names?
are you
I
giving the
didn't I
names
didn't
out?
I
Yeah.
didn't say any names. I just said that they end in the AR. That's all I
Okay.
said.
I'm gonna try my best impression of deep speak and I'm gonna try and enter it.
Well, you don't know deep speech, so you don't know what the best
Yeah, that's
impression
my
of
best
deep
impression.
speech
I'm
is.
not even speaking it. I'm just reading it.
Yeah, Zell,
So I hear the
nothing
R
happens.
Okay.
I'm just like, so we got a bunch of tunnel builders who are all pirates. Great. All right, yeah, let's head back up top.
Reg is gonna get the rope and try to climb back up.
Reg, when you get up, tug twice so we know you got up there.
Wait,
Twice.
no, 3 times.
It's
Three
Or
three
I'll be
times.
right back.
3 times is
Five
a
for
okay.
faith,
Three
three
times.
times for it's
Awesome.
dangerous to come up anyway because I need your help. 4 times
Stop
for
changing the codes.
3
Three
times if
times
you get
for
up.
fine. Yeah.
Okay. So as you all begin to ascend
Also,
up, one by one, I'm assuming
Yep.
yep.
I'm at
we're gonna go ahead and take our break. It's probably a good time for that.
Yeah.
So if you're watching the stream, thanks so much. We appreciate it as Group 6 navigates this dungeon.
Fumbles.
They bumble through. Still alive and still healthy. That's what matters. So I'll be back in 10 minutes or so. So about 6:40 p.m. PST. Again, if you're watching this so much, we'll be back. So see you in a little bit.
Whoop, whoop.
All right. Welcome back. If you're watching, we're having the technical difficulties with the server, so we're going to be restarting the server, which means I'll be restarting the stream. So if you're watching, you're going to get kicked back out, and then you'll have to kind of rewatch. So have some patience, and we'll be back.